Hey there, welcome back to another episode of Figuring It Out, the place where we have real and from the heart conversations. I'm your host, Aggie, bringing you another episode guided towards setting you up to win. Today's topic is he married her and he changed. Let's figure it out. Before I get into the meat of this episode, I first of all would like to apologize for the seen or heard or not seen, not heard conversations that I had about people, saying, "Ooh, he used to be so friendly and then he changed." I apologize for that. I think totally misinformed, totally uninformed as well. So I apologize for that. I would like to go in by first of all saying we're all going to change. We will change whether we get married or don't get married. We are all on a journey of changing. My hope for each person is that that journey is an intentional one, that you're not practicing entropy where you just don't do anything about anything and therefore allow life to just happen to you without you taking responsibility for the changes that are happening. I think in one of my past episodes I did quote a precept from one of my favorite books, James Allen's book, that says, that as a man thinketh, so is he, where he explains that you must cultivate your mind, because if you do not, weeds are going to grow in there. So whether you cultivate or you don't cultivate, change is happening. But if you cultivate, then you are controlling the current of the change and the speed of the change and the nature of the change. So first things first, we're all going to change. We're all on a journey of change. Whether we are intentional about it or not, we're all changing. So it is inevitable and actually not up for discussion that when someone gets married, they are going to change. But why does it bother us sometimes when people get married and they change? First of all, I think that it is because we're not minding our own business. And I say this with a pinch of salt, because if it's your brother, if it's your cousin, if it's your uncle, it is your business, but at the same time, it's not your business. Like, you mind more of people's businesses when you do not have clearly defined goals of your own. So you have idle time. And you use that idle time to look over the fence and see what's happening in other people's lives. And then from your very limited perspective, you start to draw conclusions about what you may or may not see. So minding our own business is going to help us to mind our own business, to get out of other people's business. We have to recognize that when an adult marries an adult, it is a cautious choice on their own, maybe also a cultural choice in some cultures, but these are two grown-ups that have decided to be together. And I think if we zoom in on the word grown-up, it means they should hopefully be able to handle their stuff. And if they can't handle it, then they will find a way to get out of the situation. So it's not for us to sit on the outskirts and judge or run our mouths about things that we know nothing about. The second thing is that, especially because I'm calling the episode "He Married Her and Then He Changed." When God created man, he saw that it was not good for man to be alone. So he created a helper for the man, and that helper is the woman, and that helper is the man's wife. Now notice that the helper is not the sister, the helper is not the mother, the helper is not the community, the helper is the wife. But also notice that not every woman is wife material. So I hope and pray that your brothers, your uncles, your cousins, the ones that you are worried about, I hope and pray that they have godly wives, that they didn't just, pick up some random chick from the street and hope that she's magically going to turn into a wife. There are women who are not wife material, but that's not the context of this discussion. If you're worried about that kind of woman, so help you God, because maybe that is a justifiable worry. But oftentimes, I find that we worry about women who are actually wives. So they are in the process of helping their husbands set boundaries, helping their husbands clarify and catch the vision for their nuclear family. And then we, the extended family, start to get uncomfortable because certain gates close for us, certain resources stop flowing towards us, certain perks and goodies that we used to get stop flowing in for us. And then we go like, he has changed, He stops going to the bar with us. He stops giving us free airtime. He stops giving us his car to drive it anywhere because now the car goes to the wife, and we get angry and we beef for the wife because the husband has changed. And I just would like us to hopefully benefit from this episode by first of all recognizing that one day we ourselves will get married. And two, that part of us that gets angry is the narcissistic part of us that wants to have its cake and eat it too, We want to basically be a second wife in our brothers' marriages or a second wife in our uncles' marriages because we are trying to step into a circle that we actually should no longer be stepping into, because the Bible says that for this reason a man shall leave his mother and father and cling to his wife, and the wife is helping him in the sense that she is indeed clarifying the vision. She is helping him to stay focused. She's helping him to put resources into creating generational wealth, into planning ahead for, the projects they want to work on, the things that they want to build. And we, on the other side, are trying to steal from that. So the next time that you feel like hating on a wife because your brother has changed, because your uncle has changed, put yourself in her shoes and imagine that you were married. What would you be doing to build your family up? Because Trevor Noah spoke about, the black tax thing where we as Africans, we continue to take care of the whole village and we take care of all the relatives. And at some point, we even actually forfeit taking care of our own families at the expense of trying to take care of and please and silence the noise and the voices of those relatives that just want to keep sucking us dry and holding us back by making us responsible for their responsibilities, if you know what I mean. There is a difference between taking care of an orphan versus taking care of your brother's kids when your brother has hands and feet just like you and was raised by the same parents just like you. Because if you could dig yourself out of whatever difficult situation you grew up from, so can he, or so can she. So there's some boundaries to be set there. And I hope that the husbands who are watching this episode, you will love your wives more. You will realize that your wife and your kids are your first and utmost responsibility, and that a home divided against itself cannot stand. So if you're going to, try to please the whole community, try to please all your aunties, try to please even your mom and your dad at the expense of harmony between you and your wife, then there's going to be a problem. I pray for you, though, that your partner is a good partner. I pray that they are a godly partner. I pray that you are also not being used or manipulated wrongly by your partner, so that you make healthy decisions, if all of that makes sense. And for the rest of us on the outside, let's be kind and let's mind our own business, and let's challenge ourselves to provide for ourselves. Let's challenge ourselves to chase our own dreams without having to suck other people dry in the process of trying to always egoistically get what we want from other people. I hope this episode has been helpful. I pray for all the married couples that are watching this episode. Husbands, cling to your wives. Wives, be good to your husbands. And I pray that every household represented by someone watching this episode will enjoy utmost peace, and that, you know, as in-laws, as extended families, that we will give people the room and space they need to flourish. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.